Hey, officially, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome out to the Market Watch Group Monday Market Kickoff. My name is Scott. I will be your host. As always, I need to remind you that what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing should be considered or intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial security or product. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. Yada, yada, yada. What will we do? Let's talk about the opening futures and news. Now we're connecting. We only take a 22-hour break from our Sunday market insights to our opening kickoff. What's changed? Everything. The market, the futures came out. We had an overnight session with some morning news. 10 minutes from the market opening, we're ready to go. So now we're sort of connecting what we had from last week to what we forecasted on Sunday to what's happening this week, which means you likely are carrying some bullish trades, possibly a good number of bullish trades. Okay, then you'd feel good about that. Futures look like they're set to open up. On Friday, we played with a potential trade on RTX late in the session. There was no time to try to put the alert out, so I just was like, I'm going to hold off. Did anyone pull the trigger on Friday? I'm just curious if anyone did. Let me know. Miguel did. I also did. Snuck it in. I don't know. I was looking at it this morning, and I think I'm going to put the alert officially out, but I'm going to change it a little bit because now we actually have a Heikin-Ashi candle. So I can actually put a little bit of a different stop, a tighter stop. Slightly different, but still basically the same trade. A couple of the specifics shift. And I hope you recognize that's not problematic. We have a bit of fluidity to how we look at and implement some of our trade logistics. Like, where do we put a stop? Well, it depends. If I haven't got great confirmation of momentum yet, I'm going to put it below the most recent support level. But if I have that confirmation, i.e. a momentum candle on the Heikin-Ashi, it changes the complexity of that trade or the complexion of that trade. And so, yeah, let's look at that. What else? Futures and news. We'll look at the calendar and the posture. We'll look at what are we thinking for open trades. We're thinking, well done, holding your trades. Good job. Now we look to tighten the stop. Now we look to see, are they closer to the next level of profit taking or possibly even the end of the trade? Vladimir, hi, good to see you. We'll keep an eye on the opening range. Good opening list this week. Good opportunity list, though. There's a good amount of it that we actually need to wait for confirmation, so be aware of that. Lastly, on the trading plan loop, we're on stop 8. It's the end of the loop. It's not the end of the road because it's a loop. And what do? We go back to section 1 and we start again. So if you're new, look forward to a constructive 8-week process building your trading plan, one section at a time. It's breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. If you've been here for a little while, maybe you're going to decide, I'm going to do some polishing on mine. I'm going to go through each section, just do a little polish and see where we stand. Okay, let's do it. What did I mean by RTX? So this was what we saw. Nice turn, nice candle, valid. The problem is we closed at 144.6. Now it's going to be 144.90 by 145. So it's ahead of this. And as that happens, what we're going to see right now, we have this candle. I wanted to do this before so you could kind of see what's going to happen. But as the next candle comes out, it's going to look more like, maybe not quite that high. 145 is here, 140. So I'd say at least like this, maybe, for now. What's the difference? Well, the difference is this is still a transition candle, which is not that much different from this one. Like all of these are transition candles. Like these are transition candles. And this is a momentum candle that starts this move. And this is a momentum candle. This move. Even here, these are transition. That's momentum. That gives us this. So what did we see for 2 days? We saw transition. These are, again, the Heiken Ashi, not the standard. And now what we're expecting today, which if this is a new signal to you and you did not jump into an early trade late Friday afternoon that we were just kind of playing around with and you're like, oh, I don't know, this actually looks pretty good. Maybe I'll throw it on. Then we would expect now the momentum candle. What is the difference between all of this? Tell me if this is making sense or if I need to clarify anything. It's at 145.12 now. Okay. 145.12 means the upper shadow will go a little above 145, but not the body of it. Putting the trade on in here, my stop loss thought process is get below support. And there's your risk. But if we're coming in and we already have this, I don't need to worry about there. I would actually be okay going right below the last white candle. Big difference? No, but take some risk out. And then what I know is after 1 day, I can move my stop up and get it right up underneath today's low. Do I know what today's Heiken Ashi low is going to be? Yes, it's going to be right here in the middle. It's going to be about 143. And there you go. Okay, so we'll look at this as it opens, but let's go take a look at our opening information. I'm just going to get those two things reloaded. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, this bill looks expensive. What are your thoughts on the bill? If you're a fan of the administration, I'm curious, do you like the bill? Does it feel right? Does it feel right? S&P eyes new record as trade deal hopes lift futures. Tariffs start to bite as U.S. prices of Chinese-made goods jump on Amazon. Bullish on Circle after blockbuster IPO. What else? I don't really see any news that's just like, we're just sort of seeing what's going on, but nothing that looks like it's going to have that much impact. Let's look at the economic calendar before we open. Today we have Chicago Business Barometer, nobody cares. Raphael Bostic, nobody cares. I mean, his family probably does, but the rest of us are like, meh. Tuesday, July 1st, Jerome Powell's speech. I don't know where that is. It's the first week of the month, but we're closed Friday. We're closed Friday. And then what they're going to do is they're going to push the jobs reports to Thursday rather than kicking them to the next week. So what do we have? Tomorrow we have job openings. It's expected to still be in the sevens. 7.3 million for job. Pre-pandemic, this was like around hovering at its highest at like 6.5. So we're still the job openings. Now, whether or not we all trust those numbers is a different story. Wednesday is ADP, which last time spooked everybody because they're like, oh, it's only 37,000 jobs. But now what? We're expecting that to jump back to 120. Back to 120. Is 120 great? No. It's just a little under what we would consider a maintenance level for a strong labor economy. So, okay, we get back to maintenance. That's pretty good. Jobless claims never ticked above 250. That's our threshold. And it has to hit that threshold multiple weeks in a row before we actually are like, oh, shit, something's happening here. We're just kind of like, okay, interesting. We've relied on the strength of the labor market. And so far, it's been a good North Star for us, right? So, okay. What else on Thursday? Yeah, basic stuff. Not basic, but Friday stuff. The U.S. Non-Farm Labor Report, Department of Labor Report. Last month we had 139. Now we're expecting 115. A little drop, but still close to that maintenance level. You can see that the expectation is that unemployment may tick up 4.2 to 4.3. And then we have the holiday. So short week, holiday. Make sure you're planning for that in your exits. That we will have a 3-day weekend that you'll have to sit through. Okay, there it is. Let's go take a look at what's going on. And there's, it's even bigger than, now look at that. Now we're at 145.5. We could wait and see if we can get a better price out of this, but that's the hike in ash I was saying. Now it's all the way up here. It's even higher than I thought it would be. But I could at least come in with a stop underneath here, 141.5, and I have about $4 worth of risk. Let me see if did I save it? Shit. Did I start filling out a log on that? I thought I did. An alert form. My computer reset on me. Oh, it's not there. Shoot. I'm going to have to go back and watch the recording to remember some things. Okay. Let's get out of this. Back to this. Pretty good jump. Maybe iffy at this point. We'll see. Let's go through everything. Apple's like trying for a sneaky reversal coming out of this. If it breaks through that 50, I don't know, maybe. Amazon, on a bit of an unexpected pause today. Guess what else is? APH. Come on, APH. You're better than that. You've got more in you. I think I can. We'll see. It's profitable. It looks fine. It's not like it's like, oh, we held it and now it's hurting us. Yeah. Bank of America up a little bit. Looks pretty good. Caterpillar. A lot of these, they're starting to look a little bit overextended. But most of these we're not in. We want them to pull back. CME, we finally, I think, got everyone out of that. Capital One looks good, but seems to be pushing towards the end. Cisco, if you didn't get out, you have another day. It's sitting there 3 days in a row. Our target was 69.15. It's at 69.07. You're pretty much there. So if you haven't and you don't now, you're on your own on this one. I don't know what to say. Here's the Dow, up 0.5%. Looks good. EA kind of paused. A little bit of a flag maybe here in EA. GE Vernova pushing a little bit. Gold, no. Google, yes. Goldman, good Lord, Goldman, what are you doing? You look fantastic. Unfortunately, that is not extending to Morgan. Hood also higher. Howmet, it's on the line. I don't love that it's pulled back, but it's still on our trajectory. Took gains on Friday because it hit our target. Looking to see if this can get the rest of the way this week. As long as it stays on this line, we'll be okay. Here's what's tough. I would love to switch to a 4-hour, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. What did I just do? I didn't mean to do that. Let me first go to the Heikin-Ashi. Yeah. I mean, your stop at 178.5 is okay, but it's not that close. Let me see what the 4-hour does. Because it went up and pulled back. Come on, 4-hour. Maybe. Can anybody else get the 4-hour? What am I missing? Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Actually, in still. Love it. It's looking fine. It made great. Hopefully you took a piece on Friday, but you can see here, actually, I think I might use this. I don't want to give too much back at this point if it falls. Let's see if this thing can regain some momentum. That's what we're looking for here. Fair enough then. Okay, IBM. So this is the first one for me that I think looks very close to tradable. Got a nice flag going on here. You could draw it from either one of these, really. They did the same basic thing. You can see the stochastics up here, and people are like, but Scott, it's overbought. Is it? It's been overbought this whole time. Guess what it's done? Guess what overbought means? An imbalance of buyers. Does it sometimes mean it's going to pull back from being overbought? Yes. In strong bull markets, overbought is great. You will see over and over again overbought stocks that keep going higher and getting more overbought. So don't remember, like our order of decision, we don't look at the bottom and then work our way up. We start at the top with price, and then we confirm with stochastics. Yeah, I think IBM actually looks pretty good. IWM looks okay. Meta pushing. Yeah, Meta. We should have had that one. Morgan, it's starting to just not make it. We got to be careful with this one as it doesn't make it, especially here. I don't have much time left. I can certainly come in and get these from either one of these perspectives. You'll notice on the 4 hour, you've already got a lower shadow here. You've already got a transition candle. So if you're tight with your stop, 139.5, you're like, hey, I'm not going to give back too much on this one. Right? Now, I don't give guidance on stops afterwards. Reached your target on which one, Morgan? I think Morgan's looking a little overextended at this point. I'd be waiting for the next consolidation. IBM. Oh, yeah. IBM, if it gives a new signal, if you're still in a piece, you could consider that it's one trade. I'd consider them two different trades. And if you take a new, I've absolutely had that before, where I got a new signal on a trade before the old trade finished. Great. Take them both. Absolutely. Two different trades. Basically, it means that the existing trade is just doing phenomenally well. Great question. Okay. Still in on IBM? Yeah. IBM's strong and looks like it's ready to go for another ride. So, well, so you guys know I have a soft spot in my heart for IBM. That is the only employer I knew for my dad. He worked there my entire life before he passed. Okay. Such a strange concept, right? Now, I think he worked at Boeing for like 4 years, and then he switched to IBM, and that was it, man. I think he finished with 30 years or 32 years at one place. That just doesn't happen anymore, does it? I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know anybody. Next one that I think looks good for a setup. Micron. We've been waiting for this one. Had a phenomenal earnings report. Phenomenal. Look at that. Expected 141, got 191. Smashed it. Obviously, people were expecting that as it built up, but even still. Now we're on this flag. From the flag, I would probably extend my box to here. And you're like, what do you mean your box? Well, right now, I'm still thinking this thing could break this flag and it's gone. It never even gets into the box. But if not, if it drops down and then all of a sudden it sits like this and you're like, wait, what's happening? And you're like, I don't know. And then boom. Guess what? There's our turn. This thing's going to come down and it's going to whip around like that. And then we're going to say, oh, okay. There's our trade, right? The next one of these. What would I look for? Probably this. You really can't ask for that again, right? It's only happened once. You can't ask for that. Don't be greedy. But if I look at, let's just say this and this, those two things, pretty good. And I've got these that are like, even if it doesn't do its best. So my thought would be, yeah, certainly that's another one that's very, very close for me, watching Micron very closely. Give me your thoughts on Micron. Netflix, good one. Anyone else take this? This is one we talked about. I didn't alert this one because it is expensive. The next time I see one of these, I'm going to do a spread, so that a debit spread, so I can show you how, even with an expensive stock, we have the ability to put trades on, even in a smaller account, right? Like I could build a $2 wide spread that the debit is probably going to cost me $1. It's $100 for a contract. So I could put three spread contracts on, 4 spread contracts on. Now, You do have to have the permissions. You have to have a sense of what you're doing, but it does give us the ability. Okay. Yes, please, Lisa. Done. Done and done. Okay. NVIDIA on a little bit of a pullback. Palantir. So, there may be a few who got stuck in this. And if so, you got back a little bit. And I feel great about that. In fact, you'll notice it got back right to this kind of support level here. If you're in this and you got this gift, do not give that back at this point. I would say most stuck in, but hey, a little respite, right? I would say a lot kind of eyeballed that area, and we're really not that far from that right now. So there you go. We'll keep an eye on this through the day. Philip Morris. And you might be thinking, Scott, Philip Morris, what do you think? And you know I'm in my mind like thinking about it. I'm like, yeah. I look at this bill and I think there's got to be a lot of people still wanting to smoke. Am I wrong? 200. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. QQQ. Roblox. Roblox looks like it's coming to an end. How much of a consolidation do we think we might get? Don't expect much. Don't expect much. Eventually it might, but I mean, as of right now, this is how I'm gonna look at it. There's my flag. There's my box. If that helps you see what, and this would get close, but not that close, I think. Okay. RTX, whew, took off. Son of a gun. SPY is up $1.50, but pulling back a little from the high, from the open. We put Tesla on a list. Yeah. Broke this consolidation. Boom, boom. Up, down. If it holds here, sure. I'd probably say there's my take profit and wherever this is. Maybe even to about 385. Yeah, there's potential there. TSM looks like it's maybe pulling back. Uber. Pause. Oops. Visa. Nothing. Okay, let's talk about the VIX. A little jump in the VIX, even though the market's up. What is this telling us? It tells us that even though the market's up, there's a little bit of fear institutionally. Ideally, what would we see this week? If a little fear came in, we got, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then on Thursday, bam. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. What would this be? Another lower high. Let's pull this over to the SPY. What do we think about these lower high entries? There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. What do you think about those? You like it? I like it. That's a nice correlation. Look how frequently. We got 4 of them. All 4 played out. I told you the de-escalation of the VIX is the absolute best trading you'll find. It's that simple. Look what we have. Look what we did. Look what we saw. Look where we are. So if we saw a little bit, if we were looking for this, what is this going to do? It's going to pull back for a day and pull back for a day. And then on the last day, it's an inverse correlation. This one's down, this one's up. This one goes up a little and rolls. This one pulls back a little and rolls. And then what? Beautiful. This is exactly what we would want to see. Can we still have trades show up even in the midst of this setting up? Of course. Of course. Thoughts? Does this make sense? Do you see the potential for it? Do you think I'm just a little bit crazy? It got quiet in here. Tell me what you're thinking. This is what I'm thinking. If the VIX is moving this is what I'm looking for. Looks just like that. That's what we're thinking. So these red lines show us what happened. When this dropped, this went up. When this dropped, this went up. This dropped, this went up. And so on and so on. Okay. Oh, hey. So I think what we have is a couple of real strong setups. You're looking to take or manage profits and trades that are still on. Honestly, the only thing that happened was PLTR got a nice 4.5% comeback. Everything else is just basically where it was or better. A couple things dropped, and it's like, okay, there's your decisions. Let's get ready to manage those this week. But we're managing profits. And we've already booked profits mostly, so should be a fairly easy management process. Walmart. Ooh, Walmart. Line of consolidation. And then all of a sudden, our buyers were like, oh, buyers make a push. Then the sellers don't. And now, and you can see it's starting to turn, but it hasn't crossed yet. This would need to get all the way up to like there. And then this would probably turn across. Not quite that heavy, but it would do it. And then what? Yeah. I would probably say 105 is in play on this trade. Well, maybe with a midpoint right through here. 101.5. So, and if I got this, I should have good Heikin-Ashi. Yeah. This is a balancing trade. So like Philip Morris and Philip Morris, Walmart, these are a little bit more defensive oriented. Okay. That's the watch list. Let me take a quick peek at the XLs. Basic materials, not doing much. Communication services, real strong. Real strong. Energy, kind of pulling back after the whole Iran-Israel fear. Financials, strong. And Morgan is trying to get back into things. Industrial, strong. Technology, strong. Staples, meh. Utilities, meh. Healthcare, meh. So when we said the word strong, it was associated with a growth sector. When we said meh, it was a defensive sector. What does that tell us? It tells us Everything that we like is still intact. It's still holding up. Everything looks good. Loving it. Good start to the week. We had a great forecasting session yesterday. Everyone was feeling pretty optimistic. It's playing out well. Even if we have a pullback into Tuesday, Wednesday, look, you're going to be booking gains. You're going to be managing profits and looking for new trades. And I would even say, based on, now, if you weren't there, I forgot to pull this up. So let me hurry and do this. If you weren't here yesterday, that was quite a jump. We were locked into this level here. You could really even include 2.5 because these weren't too far apart. But you can see that we finally broke out of this. For a month, we were just sitting here around this 3.5 mark. It was good trading. It was very good trading, but it wasn't like, oh, is it going to get better? Yeah. Now we're breaking up here to see if we're going to get to a 4.75, maybe even a 5. If we get a lower high, the high, I think definitely this market could show us something come this week that would tick our score up even one more time. So that's the posture. What does that mean? It means my risk levels can take more. I'm going to expand my risk again. It means that if I see an anticipatory trade, like the RTX, where it's like, yeah, everything looks, actually that one wasn't anticipatory. That was confirmed. But if I see a trade that has anticipatory qualities, they're back on the table for me. I'll be like, yeah, let's put it on. It was a great question yesterday during the session asking about that was about connecting the market posture to like the rails, the guidelines that we work with from day to day during the week. If you missed it, I'd take a peek and make that connection. It's super helpful. Lastly, certainly not leastly, this is what we're working on. Improvement strategies, goals. I say improvement strategies and then I put goals because a lot of times people want to talk about, my goal is to make X percent a month or a quarter or a year or whatever. That's not a goal. That's a wish. That's a hope. My goals should be improvement goals. That means they're focused on the process. We focus on improving the process. And if we have a great process, the results should take care of themselves. If the process is good, if I'm not making money, I'll adapt until I am making money. That's part of the process. So pick something that's going to make you a better trader, better at taking losses, better at staying in gains, better at managing trades, better at entering trades, better at what? I mean, those are the core things that we're looking at. Make sure you do some record keeping. So, set the goal, specific, measurable, achievable. Set a timeline. Define some action steps, monitor frequency, and then make your results. Did you do it? If not, should I try again? Where do our goals come from? For me, they come from weaknesses, right? You in section 1, you defined what makes you a good trader, characteristically. What makes you struggle? We'll take the ones where you say, I struggle because I'm not very good at blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah should become a goal. How are you going to take blah, blah, blah and mitigate it? If nothing else, it removes it from the equation. Ideally, let's turn strengths into weaknesses if possible. That's the thought process. And this is a big, big, big piece of our Kaizen mentality where we push and strive for a constant improvement. Whew, that was my soapbox moment. How are we feeling? 1 minute left. Let me know if you have any questions questions, comments, and or concerns. Otherwise, I feel good. Good transition. Everything's looking pretty good. Feeling good. Love it. Ready for the short week, Gene said. Love it. Sandy says, make good food choices. Feeling good still. Stephen D, I didn't see you in. Good to see you, sir. Thank you, Kami. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me and enjoying a cup of coffee while we process all things market related. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Come hang out with me tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern for an hour. Bring your questions. Let's chat. Let's build trades. Let's just, kind of wax philosophically about trading related activities. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your day as always. Happy trading.